Hey there guys, John Campea. Thanks for visiting my movie vlog, and this is my quick review of the new comedy Girls Trip. Okay, it's not that new. The movie came out last week, but I saw it a little bit late and I thought, it's too late to review it. And then a few days passed, now I'm thinking, no, I really need to review it. So even though this is late, here's my review. The film follows four friends who have been like best of friends ever since high school. They call themselves the Flossy Posse. And unfortunately, something happened about 5 years ago, and it's been 5 years since all the girls got together. One of the girls books a really important media engagement, and she gets to bring her three friends along to have a great reunion. The four leads of the film are Regina Hall, who I love, Jada Pinkett Smith, Queen Latifah, and Tiffany Haddish, who I had never known before this movie, and we are going to hear that name, Tiffany Haddish, a lot in the future. More on that in a second. Oh, and Luke Cage himself, Mike Colter, is in there as well, and he's really good in the film. All right, I'm going to talk about some of the things I didn't like about the movie first, just to get them out of the way, because I'm going to tell you right now, this is the best pure comedy in the past 3 years. There has not been a comedy this good since 22 Jump Street 3 years ago. That's how good and funny this movie is. Okay, so let me get a couple things that I didn't quite like about the movie and sweep that out of the way. First of all, the overall story. I mean, okay, I already said that these best friends have not seen each other for 5 years. While the movie offers a couple of little one-liners about maybe why that has happened, it didn't feel legit to me. Like everything that they mentioned, none of that sounds like, no, if this group of friends have been best friends all their lives, basically, then the things you're telling me in this movie do not explain why you'd go 5 years without seeing each other. So that felt like a little bit of a throwaway thing. That didn't work for me so well. Also, the overall story it follows really the one main character of the movie, and they're all main characters. But if you want to say one character is kind of the focal point of the movie, it's the Regina Hall character and her marriage to the Mike Colter character. And that story was blah. I mean, I got it. It served the purpose in helping to move the film along from story point to story point, so I get it, but really overall the narrative of the film wasn't the greatest. And while that may be the case, one of the things I've always said about comedies is one of those genres where you can do almost everything else wrong, and this movie didn't do everything else wrong, it just did a couple of things wrong. But comedy is a type of genre where you can do almost everything wrong, but if you make the audience laugh, everything else gets forgiven. I have not laughed this freaking hard in years sitting in a movie theater. I saw it with my wife, Anne, and Anne sitting, and I honestly thought she was going to cry. And coming out of it, she said, and I totally believe her, because I've never seen her laugh like that before. And Anne said to me, I have never laughed that hard in a movie ever in my entire life. This movie as a comedy is just freaking brilliant and hilarious. I want to focus for just a second here on Tiffany Haddish, who, like I said, I had not even heard her name before this movie. And while all the cast is really good and have their shining spotlight moments, Regina Hall, Jada Pinkett Smith, Queen Latifah, they all do a great job in this movie, and I was impressed with all of them. This Tiffany Haddish girl, though, is, and you hear us talk and use this word every once in a while about a comedic performer, but this is absolutely true. Fearless. This girl, this actress is absolutely 100% fearless with the comedy that she was doing in this film. And her comedy was only made possible because of Jada Pinkett Smith, Queen Latifah, Regina Hall. The way they played their character set her character up to do what she did. I mean, it all worked together. Sometimes you get movies where you get all the characters are completely different, and it's like, they're so different, I could never buy them actually being friends since childhood. But this movie and this group of characters totally bought it. They're four totally different characters, and I buy why these four completely different people would have a lifelong bond together. Totally bought into it. But this girl, Tiffany, oh my God. I'm going to use a phrase here. If you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about immediately. If you haven't seen the movie, you'll watch for this in the movie. Grapefruiting. Oh my God. One of the funniest scenes, grapefruiting. And I'm not going to explain what it was. It is a dirty, raunchy, R-rated comedy, the type of comedy that is normally reserved for groups of four guy dudes. And this isn't some social justice where, oh, we got to be fair and have four women. No. These women make the movie. Look, it's hard to review a comedy because really what you're doing is you're basically saying whether the movie's funny or not. So it's harder to go into any much detail than that. All I can tell you is that I fucking love this movie. I love this movie. I think if you go out and see it with either your girlfriend or a couple of girlfriends or a bunch of your buddies or whatever, I think you are going to have an amazingly good time at the movie theater. I especially, like Anne mentioned me, she goes, don't get me wrong, I'm glad I saw it with you, but I kind of wish I saw it with my girlfriends. Yeah. If you're a woman, you're going to want to get your girlfriends together and go and see this. If you're a bunch of guys, you're going to want to go out and see this. This is a freaking great movie. Best comedy of the year. Easily. I mean, that's not terribly hard considering we're talking about putting up against Chips and Baywatch and The House, but whatever. This is the best comedy of the year. Make sure, I cannot recommend this highly enough. Get out there and see it. And I know a bunch of you have already seen the movie, so what did you think of Girls Trip? Do you like my description? Do you think I'm missing a couple of things? Do you maybe not like the film? That's all cool. Jump down to the description below or into the comment section below and leave me your thoughts. And listen, while you're here, make sure you click on the subscribe button. Make sure you're following me on social media, on Facebook and on Twitter. That'll do it for me, guys. Thanks so much for joining me for this little review of Girls Trip. Go out and see it now. So until next time, bye-bye.